Hi everyone, welcome to week 5 video for the year 3-4 team. We're missing you a lot and we hope you're all staying safe and happy. In this video we're going to be reading a bit more of the story, looking at a writing task, some RE, and then Miss Harrison's got a helpful clip for music as well. Stay tuned! Okay, so for this writing task this week we are going to be looking at Hadrian's Wall and how it was completed. So we're going to consider in our letter when, why and how it was built, and then there's also some useful links here which I'm going to show you on the laptop in a second to help you with your learning as well. Okay, so I'm going to start planning my letter now, and what I'm going to do is just look through the slides and then highlight, like we do in guided reading, anything key that I can include in my letter based on when, why and how it was built. So for example here, it says the Roman Emperor Hadrian is best known for building this wall across northern Britain, which helped the Romans defend their occupied land. That's already an important thing that I can add into my letter, and I'm going to include some pictures of other things I've highlighted for you as well. Okay, then we need to start thinking about the plan for our letter. So we need to think about what we need to include. There is also a slide on the PowerPoint, but I've just written down what we need to include as well. So you need an introduction, the date, a conclusion, the sender's address, appropriate information and language, which we'll talk about in a minute, your signature at the bottom of the letter, and then a greeting as well. Okay, so this here is a layout that your letter should look like. So you've got the sender's address there, today's date, so whichever day you're writing it will go there. Don't forget your capital letters. Then you've got your greeting, so you could say, Dear Sir, Dear Madam, Dear whom regarding. Then paragraph 1 is explaining why you are writing your letter. Paragraph 2 is the useful information that we've just highlighted from the PowerPoint. And then paragraph 3 is your conclusion. So again, you need to justify why you've written the letter. And then the signature at the bottom, yours sincerely, Miss Simmons, or one of your lovely names. Okay, so I've also written down some greeting ideas and some signature ideas that goes at the bottom of the letter for you. So for your greeting, you could say, Dear, to whom it may concern, Dear Sir or Madam, I hope this letter sees you well. For your signature, that's when you end the letter, so that's the very last thing you're going to write. So you could say, Yours sincerely, thank you for reading this letter, thank you for your time, best regards, yours respectfully, and kind wishes. Okay, so for your RE task this week, what we're going to do is create a storyboard to show the Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca. And there's also, what I've put on there is loads of useful links to help you as well with your home learnings. If you click on those on the PowerPoint, they'll take you to websites that will help you understand all of this for our RE. Okay, so for this week's RE, what we're going to be looking at is making a storyboard to show the Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca. So all that means is the pilgrimage is a journey to God. So it's their way of showing God their appreciation, and they have to make this trip once in their lifetime, as it's one of the 5 pillars. So it's one of their rules that they have to do as Muslims. What I've also put on the PowerPoint for you are some links to useful websites like the BBC News Round, and that will explain and show you what happens during this pilgrimage to help you. Okay, so here's an example of the storyboard that I've done. So what I've done is just gone on the website and picked out the key main points from the pilgrimage and then written them down. You can obviously include a lot more writing, and then I've just drawn some basic pictures to show what's happening in each key part of the pilgrimage. So for this one here, prayers of the plain of Arafat, you might want to draw something different. So I've tried to do it, so we're thinking about what to make the prayer of, but you could do it as someone praying. You might want to write down your prayer in the box, what you would wish for. Then you've got the sleeping, stone in the pillars, return to Mecca, and then the last one, because there's a spare box, I've just put they feel sacred and happy, because obviously it's their rule that they have to make this journey. So that's what I've done for that one. Now let's listen to Miss Harrison with some music. And now we're going to read some more of our story, The Day I Met a Whale. Hope you enjoy. They walked knee-high with the whale out into the river, one of the divers swimming alongside him the whole time. Michael could see how hard he was trying. He was trying all he could, but he was so weak. Then, to the rapturous cheer of everyone around, the whale seemed suddenly to find the strength to even move his tail, and he managed to swim away from the shore, blowing out as hard as he went. They watched him turning slowly out in the middle of the river, and when everyone saw he was swimming the right way, another huge cheer went up. But Michael just wished they'd kept quiet. He sensed that all this noise must be bewildering and disorientating for him. But when the whale swam away under the bridge back towards the sea, even Michael joined in with the cheering. Like everyone else, when the whale died and disappeared, Michael thought he would be all right now, that he was well and truly on his way, that he'd make it this time for sure. But for some reason, by the time the whale surfaced again, he had turned and was coming back towards them. Within no time at all, he had drifted back into the shallows, and despite all they had tried to do to stop him, he had beached himself again. Mrs. Ferguson tried to stop him, so did the others, but Michael broke free of them and waded out as far as he could into the river, until he was as near to them as he could get. "You've got to swim," he cried. "You've got to. Go under the bridge and keep going. You can do it. Don't turn around. Don't come back. Please don't come back." There were people and boats everywhere, bustle and ballyhoo all around, so much of it that Michael could barely hear the whale when he spoke. "I'm trying," he said. "I'm trying so hard, but I'm very tired now and I don't seem to know where I'm going anymore. I'm feeling muddled in my head and I'm so tired. I just want to sleep. I'm afraid that maybe I stayed too long. Grandfather warned me. They all warned me. His eyes closed. He seemed almost too exhausted to say anything more. Then his eyes opened again. You do remember everything I said, he whispered. Of course I do. I'll never forget. Never. Then it was worth it. No matter what happens, it was worth it. Stay with me if you can. I need you to stay with me. So Michael did stay. He stayed all that day and Miss Ferguson stayed with him. Long after all the other children had gone back home. By late afternoon, his mother was there with them. They messaged her at work, and the white egret stayed too, watching everything from his boy. As evening came on, they tried to make Michael go home to sleep for a while. There's nothing more you can do here, his mother told him. And anyway, you can watch it on the television. You can't stay here all night. You'll catch your death. We'll get a pizza on the way. What do you say? Michael stayed crouching down where he was. He wasn't moving. I tell you what, Michael, Mrs. Ferguson said. I'll stay. You go home and get some rest, and then you can come back in the morning. I won't leave him. Honestly, I won't, and I'll phone if anything happens. How's that? Between them, they managed to persuade him. Michael knew everything they said was true. He was tired and so cold, and he was hungry. So in the end, he agreed, just so long as he could come back in the morning, at first light, he said. I won't be too long, he whispered to the whale. I'll be back soon, I promise. Back at home in a hot bath, he shivered the cold out of him, but all the while he was thinking about his whale. He ate his pizza, watching his whale on the television. He knew he couldn't go to bed. He didn't want to sleep. He only wanted one thing, to be back by the riverside with his whale. He begged his mother again and again to let him go, but she wouldn't let him. He had to get some sleep, she said. There was only one thing for it. He would wait till his mother had gone to bed, then he'd get dressed and slip out of the flat. That's what he did. He ran all the way back down to the river. And that's the end of this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're all staying safe and well. Bye, see you next week.
A crotchet.
Okay, so if we think back to the pulse is the heartbeat of the music and it's a steady beat that moves all the way through. So if we think about a crotchet is worth one beat. So first of all, we're going to have a go at clapping 4 crotchets. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this time what we're going to do is add the word fly instead of just clapping. So we're going to go fly, 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 fly.
A quaver.
Okay, so now we're going to look at Quaver Twins. So these are 2 quavers put together. So a quaver is worth half a beat, so when we put 2 together it makes 1 beat. So let's have a go at clapping that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this time what we're going to do, instead of saying 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to add the word spider. So spider, 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 spider.